Welcome back to Dinner by Dennis, where we are now actually sticking to weekly releases now. We're gonna have a new recipe every week. I'm really excited. Today we're gonna make Palt, a Swedish potato dumpling filled with different kinds of meats and topped with butter and a lingonberry jam that you can find in IKEA. Let's get to it. All right, so first, just gonna grate the potato, not grate, but peel the potatoes. This is the most interesting content of the whole video right here. Don't miss a moment of this incredible peeling prowess. And this is also gonna be a portion for like 2 or 3 people. If you want like a bigger family one, I think the recipe on the site is for like 4. Now this is the annoying part. You need to grate the whole freaking potato, which takes a while. Oh, there it is. Ow. Now, the second potato, because the first one was so much fun. And now, this part's a little tricky. Need to take our grated potato, and if you're like me, you're probably gonna be surprised like how wet this is. There's like a lot of moisture in potatoes. So you're gonna take it over to the sink and just try and squeeze out as much of the liquid as you can. You probably lose a little bit, that's okay. It's weird, it kind of like foams up a little bit. I know that it's like potato blood or something. Here's our potato. We're gonna get to the next step. So now we're gonna finish making the potato dough. I'm just gonna season it with some salt. You don't like really need to measure that. Now I'm gonna do about a 1.5 cups of flour. Mix it with the hands a little bit. You always want to do dry ingredients first, by the way. You know, like salt, sugar, flour, before you add something like an egg, because that way you'll be able to mix it more thoroughly. So the flour is gonna like take away a little bit of that like excess moisture in here, and it's just gonna help it like combine nicely. You know, hopefully into like a little ball like that. And if you end up adding too much, you can probably just add a little bit of water again, because it's really important that this sticks together when you press it in your hand. Also, disclaimer, I'm not legally Swedish, so if this is wrong, I'm sorry, don't come for me. Alright, so now we're doing the meat filling portion of the Palt. So I'm gonna go with a filling of frigid and uncured bacon. Uncured just means it's like not, there's not much salt in there, and I think like nitrates that they use to cure it. So I'm gonna take 5 slices of the bacon. I'm just gonna stack it right here. And I'm gonna thinly slice it. So normally I would use a pork belly for this. I couldn't find it at the store. But bacon is like the same cut as pork belly. It's just sliced thinner. Which is also why I went for the uncured. And I'm just gonna put that bowl over there. These other 2 slices of bacon, I'm gonna try something different, and I'm just going to fry these up in a skillet, and I'm gonna crumble them over the top of the dumpling at the end to give it a little bit of a textural difference, because the dumpling itself is just very mushy, you know, and so a little crispiness on the outside I think will be really nice. Next for the brunschweiger. This stuff is like already cooked, so you can theoretically eat it. If you've never had it, it's like what I imagine dog food tastes like. It's not bad, but it's very different. I'm just gonna try and go for like a 50-50 ratio here, I think. And what happens is, I think most of the bacon is kind of gonna dissolve when we cook these things, because it's just got such a high fat content. And some of that fat is gonna go into the brunschweiger as well as the potato dumpling itself. And it's gonna make it like a little deeper, a little more satisfying. Right, so I'm just gonna season this a little bit. A little salt. We could do that because we got the uncured bacon, so it's less salty. I'm just gonna add a little pepper too. Now I'm gonna just mix this by hand, because I think it's easier. Try and evenly incorporate everything. Bacon with the brunschweiger. Alright, so now before I start making the dumplings, I'm going to start heating up a pot of water. because we're gonna basically just drop these in a boiling pot of water and we're just gonna boil them for about half an hour. Another thing you can do, if you want the water to heat up faster, just add a little salt to it. Same thing with pasta. So I'm going to take a fistful of my dough. You want it to be like a little bit smaller than a tennis ball, I think. So about that. You press in it, then we're going to flatten it in my hand and try to make like an indentation in the middle for where the filling is going to go. Try and get as much as you can. Put it in the middle. And then just try and close this up. It's difficult, but it can be done. And then just a disclaimer, the bigger you make these, the longer you're gonna have to boil them to cook all the potato and flour. So there we go. Big old hunk of potato dough. And do that until you're out of both of these. So I ended up making these a little big, but next step, I'm just gonna take them and drop them in our pot of boiling water. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And you just kind of leave it like partially covered. Does it boil over? And just set a timer for 30 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 30 minutes. I don't have one. As you can see, the dumplings are floating now. It's been about like 20-25 minutes. So we're just gonna crisp up the bacon. So we get that ready on the side. Prepare these and then crumble the bacon over the top. Just add a little textural difference. You don't need to do the bacon step, but just try it out, see how it works. You can kind of see the water in here is like turned a little bit because a lot of that fat from the bacon is kind of leaking out. That's nice. A couple of them broke apart a little bit, but that's all right. So first, a healthy pat of butter. All the dumplings over here. Yeah, it's nice and crispy. If I can get this to stay on the top. If you can look at that, you know, that hasn't popped up at all. So theoretically there's no botulism in here. No like mold or anything, so should be good. Just take a spoon of that, lay that on the top. Yeah, I think bacon on top of that. So this is lingonberry jam, and this is like a must for Palt. Go this way, I guess. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Last time I had this without the lingonberry jam totally makes it. It's just so hearty, savory, the meaty filling, and that little bit of lightness, a little bit of acidity from the jam, some sweetness, really balances it out. And if you want to go real Swede, get a nice big glass of milk. Like, comment, and subscribe to see my camera work.